Well, welcome to another edition of the Shine.fm Church Spotlight. We are highlighting the church this month, and the month of November. And I always start by asking our guests to introduce themselves and this church, talk about where you're located, and then also what time your services are.
Yes. Hello, everybody. Yeah, this is Michael McCartney. I'm the lead pastor here at Christian Hills Church, and I've been here for 17 years. The church will actually celebrate its 100th anniversary in 2 years, so we're getting there. Almost 100 years old as a church, and our church is called Christian Hills Church and School. We do run a school as well, and the school in 2 years will be 50 years old. So we got a couple of big celebrations coming up here at Christian Hills here. We're in Orland Hills, Illinois, right on 159th. We're not too far from the mall, a couple blocks from the Orland Park Mall here.
Okay, wonderful. So tell us, what do you like best about Christian Hills Church?
Oh, this is my second round at Christian Hills. I was actually, I'm here as lead pastor for 17 years this round. But before, I left for 11 years to be a lead pastor in Amory, Wisconsin. And before that, I was the associate pastor here and also helped oversee the Christian school we have. And I think what I like about the church is just it's been faithful in serving Jesus for year after year after year. It's been amazing as we have looked back over the almost 100 years of all the things they have done. We found a plaque the other day. We were cleaning out the garage, and it had 25 people who served in World War II from our church.
Wow.
And then, of course, those who lost their lives, too, were on the plaque. And I thought, who would have ever known? You know, you never know the history and the legacy. But Christian Hills has left a great legacy. We've sent out over 40, 50 ministers into ministry and missions. We have missionaries raised up here at the church and sent overseas. And a couple of years ago, I got to go visit one of our missionaries who we helped them build a hospital in Guinea, West Africa, by Enzao. And it was just cool to go. And, you know, and he built this hospital with our help and Kama's help, another big mission organization. And I got to tour it and cut the ribbon. And, you know, so they're not just, you know, reaching people in our community, they're also reaching overseas to help people out in need in other countries across the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great. Someone came up to you and said, so what makes Christian Hills Church different? What would you say?
Well, we're kind of a spirit-driven church and worship-driven church. We love our worship here, so we do. And, you know, we usually have about a half an hour worship, and you know, it's been interesting. I think what's made it special over the last year is we've seen a lot of high school kids coming to church. And we actually had one of our young men here at church started a Bible study in one of the high schools. And he's probably invited, I'm not kidding, 40 kids to church. And just to see some of them settle in, and they're there Sunday morning. And I kind of look at them, and they're at the altar. You know, the high school kids are at the altar, you know, some of them are laying on the floor, just crying out to the Lord. And I just get amazed. I'm like, wow, this is the next generation of Christians. And these young people are passionate for Jesus. So they are. And it's been kind of cool to see. So
yeah, that's exciting for sure. That's amazing. So how would you describe the church's mission or purpose?
Yeah, our purpose is that we really feel God's called us to be a light in the midst of darkness. We sit up on a hill. We're actually the highest point in this southern part of Cook County. And on a clear day, you can see the whole skyline of Chicago from our front doors here at the church. Wow. And many times I've sat up there and prayed for Chicago and the Chicagoland area. And I think one of our big things here is not only do we invest in young people, invest in sending out other ministers and missionaries and stuff, but we also really believe in investing in the next generation. So we do have a school. Our school runs from 3-year-olds to 8th grade. And, you know, there's been a lot of kids who've gone through our school, and just to see what God's doing in their lives and to celebrate that has been kind of cool to see. So I see a church that really is loving their community. We're pretty much known for our teaching ministry. and our worship ministry is a big deal. And I think that, we've always been big on missions, so we have. So
Yeah, you've hinted at it several different times and mentioned several things, but what are some of the outreach things that you guys do throughout the year?
yeah, we participate in supporting Love Inc., which is a local kind of helping ministry. So we support them and help out with people in need through Love Inc. We also support Pastor Moises Mendez in Blue Island. He runs Hope Center over there. And Moises came out of our church, and he actually, when I came here, was a deacon, and we saw the call of God on his life. And now he's running Hope Community Center over in Blue Island, doing an amazing job as a car ministry, garden ministry, and they do a lot of after school educational programs and stuff like that too. So we support that as well. So I just see we do Thanksgiving back, which is coming up here. If you know of families in need, let us know. We try and provide them with a Thanksgiving meal. The other big thing we do every year is Operation Christmas Child. My daughter was a missionary in Burkina Faso, Africa, and she first-handed every year handed out 75,000 boxes to kids in Burkina Faso. So our church has this like vision to make sure we can get as many boxes together as we can to help out those kids overseas. The other thing is a lot of our missionaries we have sent out, specifically one in Mexico, his church has exceeded the size of our church. And interesting now, he just sent us a couple interns to work with us for the next year. So it's been kind of cool to see the multiculturalness of the church, but also being able to be interacting with other parts of the world as well. It's kind of cool.
I love that. That is cool. Now we've talked outreach. Let's talk inreach. What kinds of
Sure.
discipleship opportunities are available?
Yeah, we run a discipleship school on Sunday afternoon, which is where a lot of our younger people that have been coming out to church recently are plugged into, and they're growing in the word, learning, how to decipher the word and decipher it correctly. We also support along with that Jesus Revival, which is a group of individuals. Jay Peters heads up that outreach, and they have just been bringing revival to all these small towns throughout Illinois. And so our kids jump aboard that, and it's kind of for a lot of them, their first opportunity to go out and share Jesus on the streets with other people, and it's a little intimidating at first, but, they kind of get used to doing it, and then they're ready for when we send them on a mission trip.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
We have ladies Bible study, men's Bible study. I do support groups too. I also have a degree in chemical dependency counseling and social work, so not just the pastoral degree. So I do a lot of counseling stuff. We have a couple lay counseling ministries that really help people that are struggling and need help too.
That's great. Talk about the role of you mentioned worship, that you love worship. Shine.fm has been available for years for you guys. Talk
Yeah.
about the role that plays in the local church.
For us, worship is where a lot of our people here at Christian Hills, they connect with God there. That's where they tell me, I mean, they love my preaching. I don't, yeah, but they really connect with God in that worship time. And they say that's when I feel his presence. That's when I kind of feel his nudge in my heart. And so for us, it's kind of like, man, what a way to prep for hearing God's word, is that everybody has really felt that they have encountered God in a special way on our Sunday morning service. Our Sunday morning services are at 10 a.m. on Sunday morning. We do also want to run a Wednesday night family night, which is for all ages, anywhere from nursery to seniors. So it's, to me, worship is just the prep that gets the heart right to hear God's word. And of course, people get ministered to in our worship time. We're not afraid to pray for people during our worship time. Sometimes I'll feel nudged by the Lord to just say, hey, anybody need prayer this morning? Raise your hand here and worship. And then the people around them pray for the people that raise their hands. And they talk about how special that is and how that ministers to them personally.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Last question here. Talk about maybe some things you have coming up later this fall and into Christmas.
Yeah, well, we have a big kind of few things happening. We, of course, have our Thanksgiving back outreach coming up very shortly. We just had our trunk or treat last weekend. We had close to 800 people here, so it was kind of a great outreach and just good to be part of our community and help out that way. Um, Coming up also, I know there's a couple big ladies events coming up. There's a worship night for the ladies that they have put together, just a night to come and worship for, a good hour, hour and a half. And then we also have our Christmas giving back time where we try and bless people within our community, and we find out people in need and we try and do Christmas blessings to them. So we do. So that's coming up. I think some of our big events here, I'm trying to think here, is there is also a craft fair coming up here. If you need all the details, which I don't have, you can go to our Facebook page, and all the things are posted on our Facebook page for Christian Hills Church. So
Awesome. Well, it's been a pleasure talking with you today. Congratulations again on being our church spotlight for the month of
well,
November.
thank you.
And we look forward to being with you.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.